All right, we are back. We're doing it. Give me 1 sec and we'll get going. All right, looks like we're live. Hopefully everyone can hear me. And yeah, very excited to be back doing some building streams again. It has been quite a while, thanks to some hardware issues that have really bogged us down for a couple months now. I think the last building stream we did was in January, the Tahu and Takua Bionicle gift with purchase promotion. Very fun build. Glad we were able to do that before had all the hardware problems that have kept us streaming or not able to stream until May. Hey there, Oroki. So yeah, figured get back to this, do a smaller set as a test run, make sure there's no unforeseen issues. As I did run into trying to get this started. For some reason my sound control panel just did not want to open. I had to restart my computer like 4 minutes before we went live, but we got it all worked out. And yeah, here we are with this set, 75296. Box is a little beat up. I believe this was retired at the end of last year, and I almost missed out on it. Had to pick it up from, I think it was like a third-party seller on Amazon, still for like MSRP, but it like was getting sold out everywhere. So I'm like, oh man, I do want this set, and so couldn't really complain about the condition of the box there. But as long as what's inside is still good, we'll be happy. As you can see, it's got 663 parts, retailing for $70, so not a bad deal there. Nice little display base, little plaque there. Kind of like a mid-range Star Wars collectible set, right? Not quite as big as like a UCS set, but maybe a little bigger than the helmets. So really, this is I think the first one of these sort of sets that I have built, so looking forward to that. I've picked up a couple of the other ones, I think like the Death Star Trench Run and maybe one or two others, and I would like to get some more. I think they make some nice display pieces, but we'll find out today. So yeah, on the front we've got Vader, looks like Admiral Piet, or maybe still Captain Piet them. I think that's like Admiral Ozzel in the background, as like Vader is killing him. On the back, have some scenes from the movie. Can see how closely this is capturing what we saw. It does look like the chamber is a good bit smaller than the film. Still 7.5 inches deep, 7 inches tall, so a decent size. Looks like it's very dense and it's got a lot of parts in it. And there is like this Technic gantry there, so it can open and close. Curious to see how that works, if it like takes away from the build at all, or if it more complements it with some playability. Hey, Borok 1, Ponrock 2. Oh, well, I'm glad that your inability to watch coincided with my inability to stream. All right, opening up our box here. 1, 2, 4, 3, 1, and 3. So 4 numbers, 6 bags. Do have a nice instruction book, nicely bound there. And a couple of stickers. Looks like 4 stickers. Not too many there. So that's not too bad. Looks like that means the display plaque is printed, which is cool. I think they're starting to do that now at the Star Wars UCS sets. I believe the new X-Wing that was just unveiled is going to have a printed display plaque instead of a giant sticker, so that's pretty awesome. I think a lot of people will be happy about that. I know I will be for sure. Someone hit Guardian from Oh, I don't think there's a noise on my end. Hopefully not. I thought I had everything muted. Alright, open up our bags here. Alright, let's see how our camera switching works. Whoa. My cable management just popped off there. So I'm gonna be careful I don't get any wires stuck. Oh, your game, okay. Alright, so let us get building here. What do we got? Meditation Chamber, seeing Empire Strikes Back, reveals a bone-chilling insight into the Dark Lord. Just a cool little message there from the design director and creator lead of LEGO Star Wars, Jens Kronvold Fredriksson. I think he's appeared in a bunch of the UCS sets as well. So kind of cool to see that getting mentioned. Got a little peek at the designers. Hey there, Woomy. We do have a brick separator. It's been a while since I've added anything to my brick separator cup. I think it's been feeling neglected, so there we go. Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about there, Oroki. I assume when you're saying Guardians, you mean something about Destiny, but I haven't played Destiny in so long. I'm not caught up with any of the meta or any of the new activities they've added. Alright, so we've got our first minifig. I think this is Admiral Piet. I know it's Piet. I'm trying to look at like his, I think it looks like he's got the Admiral placard on there. I don't remember all my Imperial ranks well enough though. But basic legs, some nice front and back torso printing, a little bit of printing on the hat, and kind of neutral face. Not a bad figure, nothing to write home about. I don't know when the last time we had a Piet minifig was though, so maybe it's kind of cool to have him there. Gotta love that Destiny grind, Oroki. Reminds me of playing Diablo 2 back in the day. Never quite got into Diablo 3 as much. We'll see how Diablo 4 does. I haven't pre-ordered it or anything, but and I missed the beta because Brick Fair was going on in Fredericksburg. That was certainly one where you could just do the same activities over and over again. Hoping for better rolls. I've been playing some Halo Infinite lately. Much prefer just having to deal with cosmetics than grinding for weapons and stuff. Grinding for cosmetics is a little better in my opinion, at least for me, for the amount of time I have these days. Hey, we're building a Star Wars set. People see the new Ahsoka trailer that dropped yesterday, the day before, whenever that was. Can't come soon enough for me. Definitely excited for that show. Trailer got me a lot more excited. Those memories of watching Star Wars Rebels, and we're finally getting the payoff from the end of Rebels. Only took how many years? Got some snot details going on. I assume that's going to be where the display plaque attaches. But it's going to be something to do it on an angle, so like some hinge bricks or clip-in bars maybe. Right before the Ahsoka trailer this week's Mandalorian had some, I guess the last 2 weeks of Mandalorian have had some interesting cameos and appearances. Some actors I would have not have expected to see in Star Wars. And then some characters from other Star Wars media showing up. That were really awesome to see. For as rough as those last couple of movies were, Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau have been killing it, I think. Can't tell if it wants the 1x8 or the 1x so it's 1x6 tiles. Yeah, I think Dave Filoni really knows his Star Wars, and Jon Favreau is just a really good storyteller. So between the two of them, they've got like the proper skills. Not that Dave Filoni is not a good storyteller. I think, you know, he's proved himself plenty with Mandalorian and the Clone Wars, but Jon Favreau, I think, just takes it to another level. I'm wondering if this is where the display plaque goes. What is this clip on the back here for? Maybe that's for like putting his lightsaber, so you can like kind of store it. Since it's, you know, it's Darth Vader. You can't have a Darth Vader minifigure without a lightsaber, but it's not like he had his lightsaber in this scene. Like, I remember during the pandemic, just like trying to find stuff to watch. I ended up watching, I think it was Chef, which was written, I believe, written and directed, or maybe just one or the other, by Jon Favreau, and also starring him. And nothing to do with Star Wars, science fiction, or anything. It's just a really, really good story. It's like, oh wow, so he does more than just like Marvel movies and Star Wars and stuff. There's a lot of cool stuff that definitely like to dive into his back catalog a little more. Hey, whatever worked. I mean, I also used the time to watch some of the shows that everyone's like, you gotta watch the show, it's one of the best TV shows ever made. And then you just never get around to. Like, all right, I'll watch The Sopranos finally. I'll watch The Wire. I've heard really good things about Mr. Robot, but that's another one I've never gotten around to. I remember there being some real good buzz about it while it was on TV, and I just never made it to it. Too much good stuff. I'm watching Atlanta right now, finally. That, I think, just wrapped up last year. I'm just really bad at binging stuff. I only watch like one or two episodes at a time. So I like it when shows are still released week to week, right? Unlike, you know, when Netflix does like a drop and every episode comes out at once. I'm not as much of a fan of that as I am like week to week. Week to week I can like take my time, have plenty of time each week to watch the one episode, get ready for the next week's. As opposed to having to like rush and like try to watch it all before someone spoils it for me. clean looks we're getting. All these tiles. Always helps add to the feel of a Lego set and makes it feel like a little more premium when they kind of cover up some of the studs. Nice and solid so far, even though there's quite a bit of hollowness here. It's all well supported, so it's going to be a very sturdy base for the set. And just got done with bag 1. And some nice angle pieces. Be interesting to see what kind of complex angles Lego's doing in the set with those. All right, that is it for bag 1. We're only doing one giveaway today, and I'll be done at the end. I'm putting that link up there now. Make sure everyone has a chance to enter. Okay, on to bag 2. So yeah, we're kind of getting the 8 sides of the meditation chamber going on here with these angle Ninjago angle pieces. Almost making like a regular octagon shape. Probably do some offsets, some jumpers to really get the geometry to work, but I have faith that the designers know what they're doing there. We got a turntable piece. Assume there's gonna be a platform for Vader's chair that goes on that. Hey Box Commander, good to see you again. It has been a while. I've been MIA, but we're back. Oh, good job, Oroki. Your easy win. Gotta type in the chat. Tell them low tier. Alright, so we got some of these 1x4 curved slopes. Make these little arches that are going around. And using the 1x2 inverted 45-degree slopes allows them to slide pretty well in between these other angle brackets. Kind of help them to fill in that space, but still give some structural stability to it. So far it's been very symmetric from side to side, and a little bit like radially. Use the rad, not the back so much. But there's just enough different on the front to keep it interesting. To keep it from being too repetitive. It's been so long since I've heard any of these music tracks. And that's definitely one of the things that I'm not a fan of in Halo Infinite, or the different weapon starts on some maps. I miss the old like battle rifle start days. Or you go way back, pistol start. You know, Halo 1 broken pistol. Always fun. They've made it a little better with the new season. They introduced the Bandit, which has some range on it. But still have to try to learn all the maps where the BR spawns. Halo 1 Magnum is in Destiny 2? Of course Bungie would do that. Such an OP gun. Nice. I'm glad they celebrated their 30th anniversary with some cool throwbacks there. Alright, some more of these arch curves. Kind of add a little bit of a step pattern here on the sides. A little bit of a gap, which I'm not a huge fan of, but we'll see what it looks like in the end. As long as you can't see the red through it, which it looks like you cannot, so. Yeah, I mean, you know, you got 30, if it's their 30th anniversary, you can't just do Halo, you gotta do some marathon and stuff too. Some Oni, some Myth. Marathon is coming back as an extraction shooter. Interesting. I think Halo was like the first Bungie game that I played. I'd heard of some of their other stuff. And after I played that and enjoyed Halo, I went back and played some Marathon. But I never like really got into it. But I'd be interested to see what they did if they brought it back. There's definitely a problem going from Halo 1 to Marathon. The gunplay was definitely not as tight. This was like before mouse look and stuff. So not very easy to adapt to once you're getting used to, you know, mouse look on PC games or the dual analog sticks on consoles. Trying to go back to the pre-mouse look days is rough. All right, another layer of curves. Now starting to get a stepped look. Maybe look like a dome almost. Curve piece. I assume this stud here is for Piet to stand on, or for maybe a control panel. We'll have him stand on there for now, just for giggles. Interesting. So we've got, this was a 6x6 round plate that I assume is going on our turntable. That we're putting a turntable on. We're immediately locking this turntable in place. We're essentially using it just to get like a 45-degree angle, and that 1x1 round brick kind of locks us in place. So it's an interesting little technique there. You get an angle on an angle. Alright, so then on this round plate, we put these tap pieces in a round brick. And raising those. It's working, there we go. Put these arch pieces on. Are they lining up with the studs? Yeah, okay, so that's how they would normally go on. We've got like a little cool texture around the side here. That goes on the turntable. So I can spin around now. First little bit of playability, I guess. Well, then we're going to get our first 3 stickers on these white pieces. And that'll be it for bag 2. Are they all the same? All the same design. This means you can't mess it up. Use like the center anti-stud on these jumper plates there. Not sure how it's going to attach there. Oh, okay. So, all right, so you have to attach it with these things so they all can connect to the 2 studs. So there's that. This just attaches via 2 studs. That goes perfectly around the chair thing here. Very cool look. Alright, put our giveaway link back up for a minute or 2. We open bag number 3. Alright, starting out by building ourselves a Dark Lord of the Sith. Cardboard cape box. I assume this is probably the same Vader minifig that we had in other sets from around the same time. Nothing looks too unique about him. He's got his cape. He's got his helmet bottom piece. His head, which has some back printing with his scars on it there. Helmet. And of course his lightsaber. We'll just have him stand there for now. And we're going to push this off to the side as we start on the Technic gantry. It. don't think I've ever had this piece before. I think this came in like the Spike Prime sets. It's like a Technic beam, but it has pinholes on both sides and alternating spaces versus all along one side. So you to kind of build in multiple directions on the same beam as I'm needing extra pieces. Several attachment points, not just these 1x6 bricks, but a couple of these pieces here. Strong enough that you can pick up the whole thing by it. Okay, I gotta build 4 of the same thing, which I assume are just gonna go in these 4 spots. Oops, I didn't turn off that giveaway link before. Not that it matters. Just don't want to get in the way. Alright, chugging along. Just about 4 of these. Kind of like some steps going on. I've got a clip hinge piece here. I'm curious. See what those are used for. These are just attaching to the 1x4s on these angle pieces. Slide in like they were designed for it. That looks really clean. There's a little bit of a gap here, but nothing too bad. Especially since everything is black on black. You know, the gaps just kind of all merge together. You can't see them. Oh man, now it's gonna be like lots of symmetry. I think we're building the things that are gonna attach to those clips here. Oh, sorry, yep. So Box Commander and the Rook, are you two like in guilds or whatever they're called in Destiny? If you play with the same people all the time? That was the thing I ran into, was I never had like a group of people or any friends who played Destiny, so I never felt like finding a group online. So I never did any raids or anything in the original, and then never got super into the second one. Yeah, it's definitely not a game to play solo, which was why I kind of fell out of it. Okay, almost on to the final bag. There's a couple more parts to put on here. So I got 4 of these, supposed to fold them so until the white parts connect. And these attach on here. And because of the spacing, there's really only one way they can go on these quick hinges. Push it up too much, it interferes with the arch pieces. So. Starting to see that kind of egg dome shape coming together there. All right, and time to open up our last bag of parts. It's gonna be a bit shorter than I thought it was. What I thought it was gonna be. We're gonna be closer to 2 hours. That's okay. It's our first stream back. Kind of getting back into the swing of things. There's our printed display tile. here is our black window pane piece that's getting the last sticker. It wants us to put it in the door frame before we put it on, but it just seems like a recipe for disaster. Admiral Ozzel and some other Imperial that Vader's on the communication screen with and doesn't like what he hears, so he gets force choked. And to make this look even more like it's on like a hologram screen, got this translate blue window pane that goes over it. There you go, make it look like you're looking at it on a monitor. On a 1970s monitor emulating a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Quite the base that it's getting. Some attachment points here from before that sits right down on, so Vader can interrogate them, ask them why they have failed again. Ooh, I don't know that I've seen this Technic pin piece. So it's like a 3-module long Technic pin with a stop on one side, but there's no ridges to keep it at any particular spot. Now obviously once you start like sandwiching pieces in here, it's going to keep it more aligned. There we go. But it does not have any friction, so that's probably why they selected it. Now we got our favorite little voodoo ball straight off Tahu's chest there. Alright, so we're making a little gantry for the top. No friction so far, it's all kind of loose hanging. So is put it on here. Oh, that's really cool. So the, oh, all right, that's not quite sturdy yet. So the voodoo ball here kind of lines up with the pinhole. So when you just kind of rest it in there, that makes it stay, right? And if you push it up, it falls. So you can kind of lock it kind of loosely in different positions. I hope there's like an additional mechanism to better lock it, but it's like a really cool little ratchet. Alright, so we're putting a little half pin on here to stop so it can't come off anymore. If you're careful about it, right? Like, I think can lock it into place. Alright, I have to actually make the top part that's going to connect to that. I think that'll be about it, other than a little display plaque on the front. Nightmare's Warlock armor. 2 extra right arms. You know, even though I wasn't playing a lot of Destiny or any Destiny, I was still reading like their weekly updates and stuff to see what they were doing, but I stopped a while back. It was just like why am I still doing this when I'm not actually playing the game? I have not seen any of their recent content drops. A couple little roller skates here for some greebles. Oh, we're gonna have some ice skates to go with them. top, right? These are going to fold down eventually. These on. Now I got a thing to put on the top. Kind of give it a little bit of a finished look. Okay. Have some creepy looking red lights on the top. Be sure to check after the stream. Thank you, Oroki. Very curious to see what they've come up with. Root of Nightmares. They have definitely let the artists go pretty wild in D2. All sorts of interesting designs and inspirations. Alright, a little steering wheel greeble goes underneath. folds down. Not exactly sure what angles these are supposed to be. I'm sure we'll be able to figure out once we actually attach it. I think these two are slightly different ones. Move that up. I'm sure the weight here probably helps hold that in place too. So yeah, the weight here pushes in on the voodoo ball and keeps it at whatever position you want it. All right, let's get Vader and his lightsaber and Pia out of there so we can just kind of get the fit right for this. So just more like that. I think that looks pretty good. Hinge bricks in the front. Just gotta figure out how to line that up. Stays at a slight angle there, even though it's touching the bottom. And yeah, that is all she wrote. That stud that I had Pia on is, in fact, where he's supposed to be. So it's cool. All right, let's take a side view here so you can see this mechanism. So yeah, we've got this Technic beam. It's on there pretty sturdily. You can see the little voodoo ball there. That goes into the Technic pinholes on this side of the beam. So if you like, kind of have to do two-handed, I think. Let's see, you can do it. Okay, I can do it one-handed. And the weight on here cantilevers and pushes the voodoo ball in to kind of keep it in place. So it's a really cool little mechanism there. So you kind of like lever it. So the voodoo ball's out and you can slide it down, let it go. So even if you like pull up, it won't like go down on its own, right? The weight pushes it in, so it's a really cool mechanism. The one thing I would say is that when you look at it from the side, you can see it is kind of like leaning. The weight of the top is pulling this down. And it does make it look, it's hard to tell because when I pick this up, obviously this thing wobbles a little bit, but it does make it look like the top does shift a little more forward than perhaps it should be if everything was secured a little more. Right, they use those like Technic beams that have that 45-degree angle. I feel like if there were beams that went all the way into the base maybe, or if like these were somehow connected to these little connection points, it would make it a little more sturdy and keep that wobble from happening. But yeah, this clip back here, definitely for the lightsaber. So I appreciate that little accessory storage. Let's make sure, let's get our giveaway link back up. And there we go. Swap to here. Just kind of give an overview. It's really interesting that there's not really a seat for Vader. Let me see in the instructions how it shows him sitting. Okay, yeah, so there's like a little piece with two studs, like a 2x2 plate with only two studs. And that is what he's supposed to sit on. His cape kind of fits around, so it works pretty well. And then can go down. And like even when it's closed, there's still some gaps in it. It's not like completely solid. But I do like that it can close. I think it's a cool mechanism. I'm sure like an AFOL with unlimited parts and not restricted by any sort of set designer budget could come up with a cooler, more like movie accurate design. But I think for what this is, you're probably gonna display it open. Right, and then there's a little stud for Piet to stand on. And displaying it like that, I think it makes for a solid little display piece here. Let's zoom back in a bit, get some better angles of it. So yeah, it's a little hard to see, perhaps, because it's black on black for a lot of the design. But I do like that they did get some white on the inside to kind of get some contrast in there. It took me a second there when we were Darth Vader Easter egg. How is there an Easter egg of Darth Vader? Like, this is a Darth Vader set, and then I realized, oh yeah, tomorrow is Easter. And it kind of is like an egg for him. So the back doesn't really look that pretty. It doesn't need to, right? It's a display piece. This is going to be like up against a wall or on a bookshelf or something. Yeah, I feel like it's kind of weird. Do you have him like looking at Vader, or do you have him like looking at you? I'm curious if he's on there. Can this close all the way? Yeah, he doesn't get in the way of it closing, so that's cool. I do wish they'd been able to like kind of fill in these gaps somehow. I feel like if they tried to do that, it would have kind of broken the mechanism, because getting that to line up with, it's kind of like, it's a slightly jerky mechanism that would have been difficult. It would have had to been a much more complex mechanism to get that working. But oh yeah, pretty cool little set. I really do like the mechanism. I wish this was reinforced a little more so it wasn't as wobbly. But the whole voodoo ball and the cantilever to make this like go up and down and like lock into different positions, right? Like I think that might be like a little too high. Kind of want it maybe like up one peg down, so like he's just kind of peeking out there at you. Yeah, so cool little set. Let us close down our giveaway. And see who's winning, appropriately, a Darth Vader Star Wars buildable figure. Hey, it's Makuta LaRocca. Congrats. The 75534 Darth Vader figure, the second version. So not quite as technique-y of a torso, but I feel like he was like a lot taller though, so you got that to look forward to. We'll be reaching out, verify your mailing address, and get that sent out sometime this week. So yeah, thank you all for joining me. I was a little unsure how this would go today, since it has been a while since we've done any of these live builds, but appreciate you all coming out. Hopefully we'll be doing some more of these soon. Take a look at the feedback on the forums, do some of the bigger sets that we've got in the backlog in the next few weeks. Hopefully at least one more in April. I do have some stuff coming up that's going to keep me a little busy, but I'd like to get at least one more done this month before things get a little crazy. So thanks all. Hope you enjoyed the show. Have a happy weekend, happy Easter if that's your thing, happy Passover if that's more your speed, and if neither of those are your speed, enjoy your Sunday. Take care, everyone. Bye, guys.